allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone to our June town board meeting. Vicki, just get us started with a roll call.
Councilwoman Green,
Present.
Councilwoman Shea,
Here.
Councilman Hort,
Here.
Councilman McCuskey, Supervisor Dudley.
Here. All right. Let's start with the review and approval of minutes this evening. We have the May 13th, 2024 regular town board meeting minutes. They looked super to me. Everyone good with them?
Good.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the May 13th town board meeting. I have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, unanimous. For reports and remittances from department heads and town committees, as usual, the May financial reports from the supervisor were given to the board last week, and they're included in the meeting packet. A few announcements. Rensselaer County is doing the hazard mitigation survey. They update their plan every 5 years. They've extended the time frame for people to respond to the survey until the end of June. There's a fresh link to the survey on our website.
Posted.
Okay. We won't post it quite yet.
Not attaching it.
Not attaching, okay. We'll work on that. Vicki had it posted in the past month. And it's a super easy survey to respond to and take part in. And they had only about 78 responses, so they wanted to open it up and carry on to the end of June. And I'm gratified to say that most of those responses were from Grafton, so the more the merrier. What else have we got? Is anyone here from the ethics board this evening? No? Okay. The town employees and appointed and elected officials are required under our ethics law to do a financial disclosure annually, and those are due at the end of this month. So we all have those in our ethics law packets. So we're supposed to do those and have them on file with the town clerk. What else? Oh, I think that's good. I think that's what I have for this one. So, all right, town supervisor, or I'm sorry, town clerk. Sorry.
Right, town clerk fees brought in $279.18. Trash recycle brought in $2,296. Building permits for the month were $1,041.25. Total revenue for the month of May was $3,745.25. We had a check that went to ENCON and Agri Markets, and a check that went to the supervisor. The amount that went to ENCON and Agri Markets was $126.82. The check to the supervisor was $3,618.43.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the town clerk's report. And a second. Seconded by Councilman McCuskey.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilwoman Shea,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman McCuskey,
Yes.
Supervisor Dudley.
Yes. What on the agenda did Prestige Chemicals?
Yes.
Okay.
We got a gift certificate from them to Walmart. I contacted Phil immediately because I was like, this is weird. And I contacted Prestige Chemicals. They get promotions from different companies and they send them out to their vendors. So we have a $45 gift certificate to Walmart. I didn't know what you guys wanted to do with it.
On motion, you guys can decide where you want to send it to. Recreation, what are some of the other things we talked about?
Recreation Youth Department, Jared can buy the guys donuts and coffee from Walmart, I don't know.
There you go.
She just needs a motion.
Prestige is a vendor that the highway
The highway
department uses,
department,
right?
that's what I would
You know?
say. Okay, so we'll just make a look at that motion.
Yeah.
You guys all right?
Sure, yep, I'll make a motion that the Prestige Chemical gift certificate that the town received is forwarded to the highway superintendent for his discretionary use for the men and women. Seconded by Councilman White.
Roll call.
Councilman Green,
Yes.
Councilman DeShane.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
and Councilman McCuskey.
Yes.
Supervisor Dudley.
Yes. Okay, great. All right, the town highway superintendent.
pretty much, we're coming to the end of the first round of grading roads. We got all the majors done. We're on the, call them secondaries in town now. And now that things are drier, we've been flogging the gravel right to them while we're there. And so we'll be going back around for another round to touch up the first few roads, or the early roads that are needing it again. We'll send the mower out here within another week or two. We just needed all the guys to try to get the roads in good shape so everybody driving on them, rather than worry about the mowing. After that, we're going to be ditching and changing some culverts on our road, prepping for some blacktop hopefully, and that's about it. Other than that, everything's pretty standard stuff. Nothing real new to report.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the assessor's report this evening, we have from Craig. Thank you. This is his June 4th report for the May activities. He met with taxpayers, held office hours, went over new construction permits, all new sales key punch, held grievance day with no complaints filed. All escrows have been processed, and our new town equalization rate is 65.25. That's taken a huge drop. We were at 100% equalization a few years ago. We actually had Craig meet with us about 18 months ago to let us know that this was coming, that it's continuing to drop. I would like to suggest to the board that we have a workshop meeting with Craig, and that he could come and explain to us exactly where we stand. He has made mention in the past that we would be benefited by hiring an outside agency to conduct a full reval. So we have some options before us that I think we need to get on right away. So with the board's permission, I'll reach out to Craig and see what we have for dates to put a workshop together. Okay.
Can you explain what equalization is?
How about we do that at the workshop and for expediency tonight? Okay, okay. Is that all right, Ann?
I guess.
right.
If you're talking about it, it'd be nice to know what you're talking about.
It'd
That's
probably be easier if she takes a look at the New York State Office of Real Property Services website. They have a big explanation of all that on there.
All right, so I'll reach out to Craig and see what we've got for timing to get this underway. Okay, the Buildings and Code Enforcement Officer?
We have 31 permits out year to date. We're working with the bank. We're having a foreclosure, not a foreclosure, but a cease and desist on the house on Foster Road, Route 2. There's an eviction notice being served by the sheriff tomorrow, so I met with the property management people there, so we're going to clean up that entire property, and then the bank's going to take it back.
Foster Road and Old Route 2.
Yep. Approximately 12 acres that we walked. A lot of stuff there. The house is pretty bad.
Is that
Splatters have been squatters.
okay? Do we have a report from the planning board chairman?
Have a deputy this evening.
Yep. Okay. Let's see what that is. I know she said she had a subdivision. That's the rescue squad. We have at the May 20th meeting, a minor subdivision was approved at Lake Elizabeth. A public hearing has been scheduled for the June 17th meeting. The board had no other business and no new business is scheduled at this time. Right, okay. Great, let's see. I think she had one for the, that's all I know. Well, that's her main business, right? Okay. The rescue squad. They've submitted a report, but I see members here. Would you like to? Sure. Yeah, thank you. There's Lieutenant Chittenden. Captain Chittenden, sorry. Really? Congratulations. Okay, good.
We had 26 calls for me, 56 hours in the rig, 718 miles, transported 14 patients. We had 3 that signed off, did not want to go to the hospital. 3 calls were canceled. We had 1 patient that was not founded. We had 1 time that we did not obtain a crew out of the 26 calls, so that's pretty good. Fire, 4 calls. We had to give mutual aid to Petersburg 8 times because their ambulance was out of service. And we did receive mutual aid in Pittstown once. We did go to Samaritan 6 times. We went to Bennington 4, VA 3, and Albany Medical Center 1 time.
Thank you, thank you. Captain Chitman, can I ask, at 2 meetings ago, we had former Captain Sullivan here, and we discussed having a town-wide CPR training. And he mentioned that we have someone on staff now who's a CPR instructor.
We do have a CPR instructor, so we can look into doing that.
Okay, okay, great, super. Can we talk about it leading up to the next meeting, our July meeting, and have something
Yeah, I
scheduled?
can, yeah.
Yeah, okay, great, thank you. And congratulations once again. That's awesome. Okay, dog control officer.
I had 3 dog calls for the month, all stray dogs running loose. One was up in Cottage Lake. The owner was able to catch him after about 5 days. The ones on Cottage Lake Road in Pondview, I never could locate them. And the dogs on South Road were picked up and returned to their owners. It was approximately 33 miles in 3 hours of time, not including the animal abuse investigation class that I went to, which was informative and had a lot of resources and things that, you know, people we could reach out to. It was more geared towards actual law enforcement, but it was very nicely put together and it was well worth the time, and we're looking to do more stuff and, you know, possibly do things with dog control or geared towards dog control.
Where did you do that?
Hudson Valley?
Was it just for Rensselaer County, or was it other ones? Did they talk at all about the crisis with housing dogs?
They discussed it a little bit. It was very briefly touched. It was more about animal abuse cases and how to react and what to do. And basically, in those kinds of cases, the dog control officers, they have no authority to contact the police departments.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. The Recreation Committee.
We had our picnic yesterday, and it went over real well, well attended. Food was good.
Food was great. Sorry.
Oh.
It was really good.
It seemed like everybody really enjoyed themselves. So everybody that went, I appreciate you showing up. Thank you very much. And we're having a meeting in 2 weeks to talk about what our next step is, because we're still talking about having a chili cook-off. And a couple other things, but we wanted to get this one out of the way first, so.
Well, great job. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was very well
The weather was
attended.
nice too.
Yeah, the weather was
Just in time.
Yeah, just in time for me to clean put my stuff up, and it rained like crazy.
Excellent. Good work, definitely. All right, the library report.
So for statistics for May, we had 655 hardcover books checked out, 260 ebooks. Hoopla, which is another ebook system, 41 participants. Patron visits, 222 adults, 35 children, 8 teens. And our program attendance, 19 preschool and 35 after school. We kicked off our summer reading program yesterday at the picnic. So it's going to run from yesterday until August 17th. So stop in and register. There's about 25 prizes already set up. We're going to work with the youth program for the summer, with the kids for the summer as well. And over the summer reading, part of the summer reading program, we're going to do birdhouses and bat houses. And in the fall, we're going to do a felt program, and we have a state coming in the fall to do 3 sessions on how to avoid scams and how to avoid your kids getting scammed, because apparently since kids get their Social Security numbers really early now, people are actually going in and taking your kid's identity. Not that you no comments, right? And some Run for Roses is August 11th. So.
All right, thank you, Leanna. All right, for the Merrymakers, they sent in a report. No one's here from the Merrymakers? Okay. All right, the Merrymakers will hold the June meeting on Wednesday, the 26th, at the Dyken Pond Environmental Center, where we will have lunch at noon. Please bring your own beverage, everything else will be provided. Hiking trails, kayaks, and canoes are available for use. We can also play cards, board games, or just enjoy our surroundings with conversation. A brief meeting will follow lunch. For those unsure of the location, meet at the Everett Wager Senior Center and we'll follow each other, or you can go directly to Dyken Pond on your own. We still have room on the bus to Racket Lake. Bus transportation and a buffet lunch is included. Cost is $50. Contact Kathy Goyer to save your seat. 518-279-3231. Submitted by Linda Labway for the Merrymakers. We also have a senior citizen representative. Is Diane here? No. Right, we have a report from the senior center prepared by the director, Lisa Overrocker. June is a very busy month here at the center. This month we have welcomed the seniors from the Hoosick Senior Center. Their center has closed and eagerly awaiting the opening of the new center sometime soon. While they are here, we have begun to serve meals 5 days a week. Every day at noon, a senior can come for a congregate meal or get a portable grab-and-go meal. If you plan to come, please call the center prior to 10 a.m. to make sure the cook prepares enough. We started the month with some music from Sal Graziano, compliments of the Hoosick seniors. Tomorrow, June 11th, the Grafton seniors will hold their meeting at 10:30. There is also special music by Brian Zapo. Wednesday, the 12th, Joanne Marcurio from Project Linus will be there to speak to the seniors about the mission of Project Linus and to lead a blanket making session. On Friday, June 14th, veteran Jared Amuso and his canine Athena will be in to speak about Flag Day, including proper disposal of the American flag. On Monday, June 17th at 12:30, it's a Father's Day Carnival. June 18th at 11, Cornell Cooperative Extension Eat Smart presentation with tastings. Later in the month, they'll have a birthday celebration, bingo, games, bocce ball, and more. Chair yoga is every Monday and Friday from 10 to 11. Cardio drumming is every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30. And Strings and Things, their crafting group, is every Wednesday. Respectfully submitted, Lisa Overrocker, Director. And I know Vicki puts these things up on our website, don't you? For the center, great, perfect. Okay, that's the seniors, okay? And then we have the youth department.
Okay.
What? I know,
Youth department, camp counselors, today's the last day that they can get their applications in. Just found another one, but we have enough applicants for employment for that, so we have plenty of room for more kids. Please spread the word. For, just finished kindergarten to age 13, starting July 8th. So we'll leave that open for camp applications starting today. Today was originally the deadline, but since we have so much help, that we can accommodate more campers.
About Petersburg and
I'm hoping that, yes, so originally it was just Grafton residents only, and hoping that the board approves that we open it up for nearby towns, Petersburg especially, so that kids can come from the nearby towns as well, since we have her. And yeah, a couple of field trips have been lined up. If you want your kids to go to field trips and stuff, you still have to sign up for the camp. You can't just show up for the field trip without having signed up for the camp. Even if you don't go to the days or whatever, that's fine. Part-time campers are fine. That's not a problem at all. They just want them there and having fun. So there you go.
What are the dates of the camp again, Laura?
July 8th through August 9th. It's 5 weeks. It's Monday through Friday from 9 until 3. The first 2 weeks will be held at Grafton Lake State Park. They have given us a tent, a program tent, and the swim to learn. Lessons are those first 2 weeks as well, so it's very convenient for them for us to be there for those 2 weeks. And then we're at the Roxborough Holdings, old Grafton Elementary School. on rain days and the remaining 3 weeks.
And lunch.
And lunch. Well, we could bring the lunch with us, right? Or drag it. It's not far away, regardless. So. What else? Any other?
Okay.
Ingrid, before you go on, there's something else for the recreation. For the, gosh, I couldn't remember the date of the festival down here.
July 20th?
Okay, so we still have time, but we're talking about something to do for the rec committee. And we thought a good thing that we could do, especially if it's hot, is give out water. So we're gonna ask to use some of our funds to have water to give out there as a town contribution to it.
Okay.
Okay? Just wanted to let you guys know ahead of time. Just clicked in my brain.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Good stuff.
Great. Okay. I think we've covered the department heads and town committees. Communications received?
I have a couple. We got a couple just simple things. We got a thing called Get the Word Out. It's a lady who's doing this free of charge. She's putting together activities for different towns and communities, and she's sending it out to towns and trying to get it out and about for, and she actually does have a few things from Grafton listed in here already. You guys have the information, if there's anything that we want to look into possibly using or advertising with her. We also got the Rensselaer County Entertainment Magazine. So those are just two kind of fun things. We got the information from Culligan about the price increases. I think it's $2 a bottle. Everything else stays the same. And then the request for the Democratic Committee to use the town hall for the caucus on Thursday, June 27th. We've done it in the past, and I have no conflict with that schedule for that evening.
Would we approve that with a motion, Bill, if we?
Yes, 7 PM, and what time do you guys want to start, with access to the facility?
Madam Supervisor, we would like to have use from 6:30 to 7:30.
Here you go.
Okay. All right, we'll get that when we do motions at the end. Okay. All right. While we're on department heads and committees, I know Mr. Darling is here tonight. Could we have Nels say his piece?
Yes, I'm going to want to talk about the banner replacement program. As everyone knows, there's some of them that are getting pretty beat up. And I went to Stripes and they upped their prices like everyone else. Now, replacement, well, the original banner, if it's original, it's going to cost $170 because you got to have photographs and all that and prove a proof. But for replacements, they'll do them for $125. And hopefully, once it's sponsored, maybe he can do it again. Like, I have 5 down at the end of my road. One is okay, mine is okay, but the other 4, so that's going to cost me $500. But I really appreciate the way Jared and the Highway Department have always made sure that they're up by Memorial Day and stay up until after Veterans Day. So I really appreciate their work. So I have applications for anybody who wants to do either new one or replacement one.
The company is called Stripes?
Stripes. Orderly.
Is that the one, are they of the same style that you and your brothers and your dad have?
Yeah.
That style, okay, okay, gotcha. All right.
So I thought our commander was going to be here, but he didn't make it. He had something
Who is
else
your
on.
command, is it Rich Turpin?
No, it's Len Klaus.
Oh, Len Klaus, okay, gotcha. Okay. Okay.
So I'll have applications if anybody wants to, or I'll leave some here.
Thank you, no, thank you, thank you. Okay, under old business tonight, we have the town computer system and email upgrades, which have been underway for the last 6 weeks or so. I have to say, I think going with AIT as a provider for our internet services and our IT services has been very good, very good. I think they're responsive, they understand us, they understand small towns, so I really think we're stepping into the 21st century. Any more updates?
No, everybody should have the new emails. If you're still having trouble, please contact them because we'll be within a couple months to get rid of Spectrum. And if we're responding to people, maybe even just put a tagline in the emails. Please make note of our new email address so that people can start getting it changed and updated. And Spectrum email is not costing us anything, so we leave it up for 3 or 4 months so that if people send it to that one, let's set it up so it's forwarding it to you in your other email.
Are they scheduled to come out again anytime this week or soon?
AIT?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
The court is still having issues with their laptops, so I'm going to have to get them out there to communicate with them.
Okay. Okay, good deal. Okay, the vault ventilation.
Talked to Oliver, we got the metal piping to go through the roof and everything, so that will be the fire resistance there. He's working on a switch in case there's a fire in the vault to automatically shut everything down, so it's not drawing air out, causing more damage.
So we're close to
Yes, we're close.
getting.
Yep.
He believes that as long as he can get the switch set up, he is tentatively scheduled for July 10th or 12th.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, the security cameras. This is a project Councilwoman Green was working on.
Yes. I gave each of you a copy of all the 3 quotes that I got. I don't know if I needed to do that, but I did. For the cameras, for the 3 vendors, if we could just look it over for the month and then maybe next month we could decide on which one we want to use. I have not worked on the fire alarm system anymore yet. I'll undertake again. I want to talk to Tom about it more. But the cameras, I think, is reasonably priced. I think we could do it without. And actually, AIT is one of the cheapest vendors also for the security camera system. Because their bid only came at $2,279 for the same. And the highest bid was $4,325.
I like the idea of AIT doing it. That's our internet vendor that we were just, IT vendor we were just talking about. Okay, so you covered the town hall fire alarm situation as well. You're still working on that?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't met with anybody else to give us kind of focus to see what that's going to be.
Okay, the senior center lease, I think that's just on here to file with the clerk's office. We're in good for another 3 years. County's paying their rent check monthly, so we're in good shape with that. Post office repairs the deck is actually completed. He's just waiting to stain it just a little bit more, let it weather a little bit more, and then he's going to stain the deck so it matches the green trim on the post office, and he's going to put some anti-skid sort of paint on it. Senior center storm damage, but we had a windstorm on the 4th of April. It blew the cupola off the building and it crashed down into the fenced-in area where the trash is stored. That's been turned into Rensselaer County because they insure the building as it's their leased premise. So that's underway. Sexual harassment and workplace violence training. All of us are doing them kind of piecemeal. NIMER just announced their next training is July 16th, I believe. So we just, that's an annual requirement that all town employees, appointed and elected officials need to have done for New York State. The rescue squad bathroom construction, he's started up again in there. How is that going? It's shaking heads. Okay.
I went over and looked at it. Basically, he's got the mechanical as far as the drains in the floor. He's got some framing done. He's got the vent to the roof. So all the mechanical, as far as with the toilets and everything, he has to put the grinder pump in and stuff like that. So I think once he gets that in, it should go pretty quickly. Just a matter of some sheetrock.
I still think we were asked to do a letter last month, and I still think we need to do a letter to him and give him a date. Because, like, in the last month, he has done hardly any hours. Andrea said he was there one day for like an hour, and he left twice. And it's been 2 years. I was wrong when I
Well,
said
that
twice.
bathroom should,
It should not have taken 2 years, and I think if we've been more than fair with him, we've tried several times to contact him, and he will not call anybody back.
I actually have, I emailed and messengered with him, and he assured me he'd be here on that following Tuesday afterwards, which he did. But that Tuesday's now like 3 weeks ago, and he's saying.
And he was, how long was he here on that Tuesday?
he was here most of the day.
Yeah, he's here most of the day.
Well, he's doing cement work. I mean, he had to break all that concrete out of the floor and then put the piping in and then re-cement it, so.
It's still 2 years.
Oh, yeah, no.
And I think we should write a letter to him and just say, this is the date. If it's not done by then, you're done, and we're gonna get someone else to finish it. That's my opinion. I think the rescue squad has been more than very patient, because it's uprooted their whole net. That was their storage area.
When it's finished, will it be just a water closet, or will it be a shower facility as well?
It'll be a shower.
Shower,
Is it-
basin there.
There's a shower, a sink, and a toilet. And then I don't know what that other room, what is supposed to be. Yeah, but you can't put maybe a blow-up, you couldn't even put a blow-up mattress in there. It's not wide enough to put that in.
We had talked about moving that.
But, I don't even know if that was part of his contract.
No, it's not that way.
So I think he shouldn't, he should concentrate on what he's contracted. Well, we don't do contracts, but the estimates.
Yeah, we should have a contract and take the time on contracts next time.
So, Phil,
If I draft a strongly worded letter, would you?
Well, let me bring you back.
Okay.
So what was supposed to happen is somebody was supposed to send me a copy of the resolution approving the guy working and a copy of his quote that he submitted. And then I was gonna draft that up for you.
correct,
and
last
ask
month.
again.
And
Yeah,
then I talked to Tom about it, and he said, well, he was working on it, let him see what he gets done. And then we just never did it.
correct.
I have written up some notes. If you want to meet after, I would be.
No, I don't want your notes. What I want is a copy of the
I
resolution.
have that also.
Then send that to me. I'll draft up a letter for Ingrid to review. That's exactly what you need. And then you're off to the races. I just need somebody to send this stuff to
You
me.
need the resolution and
His quote.
his quotes, okay. Okay, and are there other
Outstanding.
things that he hasn't put
I believe the
together?
bathroom is the only thing that has
The
not been
holdout?
done. So then, I'm not sure, I mean, that was, before my time, but.
I mean, in the same vein, too, Craig wanted an air conditioner or heating unit in there. We're looking into that. Those mini splits are very, very expensive. So one of the contractors made a suggestion that we just cut a hole in the wall, put a small air conditioning unit in there, because it's only about 100 square feet. And then that way you'll have air conditioning in there.
And it's fine for the heat in the winter.
The heat's fine.
So that's fine.
I thought Craig said this was probably.
No, we just gotta turn the right thermostat on and know it's all in the world.
You're right.
The right one.
Senior center was freezing today.
They have one.
Off.
Doesn't Craig have a thermostat in his office?
It doesn't work. That was on one of the older zones, so the other thermostat that controls the air is in the office.
Okay, so we kind of jumped ahead to the assessor's plan situation, but yeah. But Tom looked into that, and the splits are very expensive, so we're thinking
Just a single unit.
air conditioning.
All units.
Assessor's AC.
$300, frame it in and insulate it.
Okay. All right, we've discussed in the past paving, the town hall parking area, and the recycling area.
You guys are looking at me. I threw it on the agenda. We always talk about it, you know, and it's up to you guys, but I'll gladly meet with Tom and Jody because they're on grounds. And then we can get Vicky to put it in, you know, to advertise it, get some bids. It's up to you guys. It's one of those things we always talk about, and if we're gonna do it this year, I'm sure their schedules are booking up pretty quick, you know, and by the time we get it advertised, get some contractors out here to give us prices, you guys decide, you know, what company we're gonna go with, and then get on their schedule. I mean, we're already, today's June 10th, so I just threw it out there to just
And it
keep
really
that,
does.
keep that thought
For
alive.
safety reasons, it really does.
Yeah.
Big
Winter time, it's mud all the time.
walking and.
You know,
Should we do out here, the parking lot, and then the recycling area?
recycling area.
Right through.
And my suggestion is go right swath around the garage and all in front of Jared. He's living in mud over there. He washes a truck and he can't move him 2 feet, or they're covered with mud and we're done.
What do you mean, the side part or the front, where the fuel tanks are?
Yeah, all out front of where the highway garage is, and then the road
And
going.
they track all that mud in the garages every time they back a truck in, you know.
All right, so we're gonna get quotes.
Well, we gotta, go ahead, sir.
Can I ask you
Yeah.
a question?
Yes.
The hard part, I think I've told you this 500 times, guys, the hardest part is coming up with good specs to show to whoever the prospective person is that might be doing it. Now, I sent you, I thought I gave you some of the county bids for
Yeah.
doing this kind of stuff. So you could look at them and know what the cost would be from all those different companies that submitted their bids. That's one way. Or you could pay to put it in the newspaper and do it that way. Whatever way is easiest for you guys.
It needs to be striped also when it's done, for handicap accessibility.
So it's really up to you guys. Would you rather, you have to come up with the specs both ways. Then after that, the question is, would you rather put it out through the newspaper and do it that way? Or just contact the companies on the approved bidders list through the county?
And just piggyback off those bids.
Yeah.
So we could figure out the math, we could do that ourselves without having to.
Sure, we'll get together with Tom and whatnot, and measure it up, decide, you know, paint out what everybody's happy with. You know, it's certainly not just my decision with this building here. And we could certainly just, like you said,
I'd
Phil,
send it to every single approved bidder on that list with the county.
yeah, that's easy to do.
Some won't bid because it's too far from where they are, but you probably get at least 3 of
Yes.
those.
Good sized job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. The procurement, that's gonna be thousands of dollars. That's gonna be a lot. It
So-
should just be about,
This is definitely gonna be, I'm betting it's gonna cost more than 10,000 easily.
Oh, we're,
Definitely.
yeah.
So I bring that number up, folks, because if you look at our procurement policy, that's the number. So if you go through the county, no issue.
Right.
If you go through you doing the RFP and everything, then it's a little bit more complicated, but still not terrible. But you're paying to put it in the paper. I would ask the highway superintendent what he wants to do. Which ways does he think is best?
If it's simpler to just piggyback like we normally do, then, you know, I would say that's the way to
We'll work with
go.
most of those vendors
that's the
anyway.
way I,
Because like I said, some of them aren't gonna bid, like Peckham's doesn't really do parking lots, they're a road crew, but some of the others will gladly bid on it, so there'll be plenty to bid.
You know where I'm getting with all this. If you do it through the paper, you guys are gonna have to authorize spending money tonight. If you do it through the piggyback route, all you're doing is getting quotes. You're not spending any money, so you can simply say, Jared, please go ahead and, you know, solicit the quotes through the county bids.
That sounds like the easiest and most
And it doesn't
responsible
cost
way,
anything.
actually, most responsible. You know?
Prepared for big price.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, but it needs to be done, as you said, there's mud issues and safety issues of recycling, you know? Good, okay.
Look, and if I could ask one last question of Jared, I'm not aware, but is there any, possible bidder that's nearby that's not on the county bid list?
You know, to be quite honest, I'm sure there probably is, but I didn't go down the list looking for that. You know what I mean, so I'll have to look at the.
That would
list.
be the big issue.
I don't wanna try to answer that question right now. I
If
don't-
there was
I don't-
5 companies that are not on the approved county list that you think might do the job economically and do a good job,
Yeah.
then you want to come back to these guys after you have time to look into that and tell them, yeah, I decided instead I'm going to ask you to put it out to a formal bid, you know. But just look at that issue, because if you find out, no, the only people who would possibly do the job are on the approved bidding list, then you save yourself a little money, so.
Can we do this in the next 30 days?
We can
So
get,
by the next meeting?
Well, here's the thing, if he finds out that the people on the bidders list is most likely the only people who would bid, then within 30 days, he can bring back to you a bid to approve,
Yeah,
and you're off to the races.
yeah, sounds good.
But if you gotta go the other way, you're gonna need them to make a formal motion to allow you to put it in the newspaper and proceed that way.
So for tonight's purposes, we just had this discussion. Jared's going to look at it with Tom and Jody.
It's like the
figure out where it
paving one you're
stands.
doing tonight. He
And
didn't
then-
come to you to get permission to do that because he's piggybacking.
Right.
So he could do the same thing again and find out who's got the lowest bids.
And also we can segment it too, to do our parking lot, recycling in case it's enormous and all.
Okay. Any more comment on that? No? Okay. The next thing we have under old business is disposal of the 2020 F-550, whether it's going to be auction or trade-in. Is that the?
yeah, I got a phone call that the new one can come in finally, you know, and it's been all put together, you know, they get a box, the plow, all that stuff on it. So I got a hold of Tom and whatnot. I took the truck in to the dealer to say, hey, what's it worth on trade? They offered us $50,000 for the truck. I should have looked, but I was on a roller till 4:30 today, so I just didn't feel like doing it. I don't know if we paid 66 or 68 for the truck. Everybody in this room knows I don't lie to anybody about this stuff. Whether it's 68 or 66, either way, we spent $4,000 a year. The truck's 4 years old. $4,000 a year to own the truck. If they give us the 50 grand, or do we take the gamble and send it to auction and get another couple $1,000s? We may not get that much for it, or we might get more. That's always the gamble with the auction.
I started out at 47 with them, I told Jared to give him a call.
Yeah, so I called him back and said, listen,
I've
you
called a
know.
bunch of wholesalers. They bought the other truck from them, it's still sitting on their lot. So, I mean, auction-wise, you need the door repair, you need the center rubber. You know, they're probably gonna have to put $5,000-6,000 for them to sell it. So I think, you know, we're at a good number, we're still looking into it, but I mean, I think that's a fair price for $16,000 to use that truck for 4 years and not putting a dime into it. You drive it off the lot, you lose that much.
So that's the trade-in, they told you 50 grand?
Trade-in,
Trade-in,
yeah. Yeah.
It's a good price.
Yeah, we don't have any money in the truck as far as no maintenance except oil changes, so.
Phil, do we make a motion for that?
Yeah, you're gonna have to do a motion declaring that item a 2020 F-550
Yep.
as surplus equipment and allow the superintendent of highways to either trade in or sell at auction such vehicle, whichever is most cost efficient for the town.
Okay. Okay, cost efficient, okay. All right, we'll hit that when we get to motions, good. All right, any other old business? Okay, under new business, we discussed extending an invitation to youth from neighboring towns to attend the Grafton Youth Summer Program. I think we're going to do that under motions as well. Are we thinking other towns, Berlin district, neighboring town, what are we?
I know Petersburg very much. They believe Steventown is piggybacking with Berlin. You know, if there's a couple child that's closer this end to them to go.
Why don't we just blanket say neighboring towns when we get to it? Okay. Okay, all right, we'll do that under motions as well. Under new business, we also have drug testing.
Yes. This has been one of my pet peeves for almost 3 years. But anyways, do we have a contract that someone can show to me from Absolute Drug Testing? I have asked several times,
It's the county contract.
but I called the county. So we do not have, nobody has we do not have a contract with Absolute Drug Testing.
Really? So you're saying there's no county contract?
I'm not saying, the county has a contract. Okay, Okay, so our town policy states drug testing in the employee handbook, page 28, section 902, drug-free workplace policy. The town board is committed to providing a safe work environment. I, being on the town board and being on the Human Resources Committee, took this upon myself. So with that said, knowing that we don't have any drug tests, we haven't had any drug testing done since May of 2022 for any of the highway superintendents and any of the highway guys. That information was provided to me by Jared. I'd asked for the contract that we supposedly had with Absolute Drug Testing.
Rebecca, here's what you should do. Just put it back out to bid.
No, can I finish, please? This is why I wrote this out, because I knew I was going to be interrupted, okay?
All right.
Since April 15th, I've asked for it. I asked Jared personally, I've sent several emails to Ingrid and Jared. The only response I got from Jared was that Ingrid might have it. The county will send Phil and myself a renewal when the bids are done for 2024. And my final email from Jared was, I talked to Phil about it. We piggybacked on the county just like every other town does by passing a resolution that I forward to you. Not an actual separate contract, just a resolution. We are all set and we're compliant with it. That was the email. I contacted the county, Todd Jojo from Rensselaer County Highway Procurement, and to find out that we do not have a contract under the county. Todd Jojo stated that we do not have a contract under the county. We cannot piggyback off their contract. You could use our bids or quotes possibly. Rensselaer County Highway has a contract for their approximately 58 highway employees only. Not any town employees. The town of Grafton should have their own contract with whoever they choose to do business with. Resolution number 18 of 2022 that was based off from was the resolution that was done that said the town hereby approves the purchase of Absolute Drug Testing, mandated drug testing on behalf of the town of Grafton Highway Department for the amount set forward on the attached bids, which is 3 quotes from the county. They do not include the town of Grafton at all. These are the county employees only. Their bids are, and like he said, you could possibly use these bids. He doesn't know if they would be accurate or not, because each town, I mean, it's different if you have more than one, you know, if you have 58 people or 10 people or 6 people. So we never, I feel like we have probably never done a contract.
Have you had your people tested by Absolute before on this contract that doesn't exist? In 22?
Yeah, I showed Rebecca the paperwork.
He showed me one, and I had that, right?
Rebecca, what do you suggest we do? Why don't we do that?
Okay, so the resolution was, so if a contract was set up for the town of Grafton, that's fine, I'd like to see it, but we haven't found it. If we are not complying with our town policy, or is Absolute Drug not doing what they're supposed to be doing, I don't know.
You spoke with them, I've heard. What
Several
did they
times.
say?
She refused to call. I've talked to her 2 or 3 times,
And
then she never called me back because I think I don't know. All I want us is to be compliant. That's all I'm asking. And I was just tired of being kind of pushed around. I mean, we're supposed to be, for drug testing, it's 50% random drug testing for random drugs, and then alcohol is 10%. That's the mandate. We haven't had any testing in 2 years. And the test showed that you showed me from May of 22 was your own test for a pre-employment screening.
That's just the forms that lady is
that's
super,
the-
that
That's what
lady
was
is super
marked.
nice. I get that. You see, you don't want to listen. That's okay. But those are the forms they gave us. All the guys got tested. I don't know what the forms were. I said, look, will you please come up and test us? We signed up with the county, so I thought. And she said, no problem. She came up, we all tested, everybody passed. She said, all right. And I said, well, we'll see it another time. She says, when you come up on the computer, because it's random, I'll let you know I'm coming. like some other surrounding areas, they haven't heard from anybody in a while. Unlike yourself, I talked to these other towns and I said, ever since you asked me about it, I said, has anybody been around to test any of your people? They said, not in a while, not really since COVID, they backed off. So to everybody else, we all just thought this was normal. I get it, it's bugging you, okay, but don't
I
act like
just
I'm
want us to
purposely
be
doing something
compliant.
wrong here. I showed you the form that she gave us to fill out. Everybody filled them out, all the guys over there. I didn't even read it to see that it was pre-employment. We just filled it out. It's like, oh, you're here to test us all? Okay. So we filled out the form. I never even read it. Just filled it out.
All right, so
When we talk about being in the pool, was that, like, my guy's a truck driver and he's in a pool, but
Yeah.
it's with another agency. He's part of a pool but with another agency. So, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
is
pretty
that
much
what-
everybody with a CDL is in a pool.
Right?
Yeah.
So, right?
Every 3 months.
But then he does his own, because you have to, because it's going to be compliant. I'm just suggesting if we don't have a contract set up, let's get a service set up as soon as possible and get the town on the right track with it. Does that seem fair and reasonable? So, and on that note, I have contacted several drug testing companies. I would not suggest absolute drug testing because they don't want to do what they're supposed to, I guess. But we do, like Albany Med Urgent Care in Brunswick is one. My personal choice out of all of them that I've reviewed is Bennington Hospital for their occupational outpatient, because they do they will do the labor, the random testing, and they just call and say, okay, send this person and this person for testing today.
So while they're on duty, they go to Bennington Hospital to get tested. They don't come here to do it.
No,
The people don't come here, so they're.
because there's not very many that do mobile anymore. That's reasonably priced. There is accredited drug testing, is another company that I spoke to several times, and they're pretty reasonable too. And they do their random, and they'll tell you what places to go to, which is either like, there's 10 places within 20 miles of the town of Grafton. And they do a random draw. Albany Med does not do a random draw, which I don't understand. Well, I do because what they do, and I don't like it because I can just see it not being complied with, is they tell you, okay, these 4 people need to be tested in this 90-day period. They tell you on the second day or first or second day of the quarter, and those people have to be tested within that 90 days, which I don't think is.
What is the federal mandate? That they need to be tested once a year?
No.
Once a year. It's usually once a year.
Once a year?
Well, it's the random test, you're supposed to be tested, I believe, at least once a year. Random testing is 50% of your pool, and then for drugs, and then 10% for alcohol. And that's the 2024 new federal mandate, because that hadn't been changed since 2020.
And that applies to municipalities, federal mandate,
does.
it would just start.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's in our handbook.
The biggest problem I had with this whole thing was we didn't have our guys going, and I had a chat with Jared about that. And he was saying that they didn't come out and do it, but every year we're supposed to have that done. So,
So don't they also have to have a physical every year, the CDL?
Not
Don't
for
they
the
do
drug
that When they
testing.
do that?
not for the drug and alcohol
I just
testing.
figured the physical health, they
As a DOT,
automatically.
as a CDL holder, I believe you have to have a physical once a year.
That's
But that's
different.
your responsibility as a,
They don't do the testing during that physical.
No.
no.
We're not drug testing. Because I had
The CDL mandate is biannual unless you have certain health problems, but anyway. Okay, so what are we doing?
That's,
If we, what are we doing?
And this is the only person through the county that will do it, the one you have, that they're supposed to have now? The absolute drug testing, I have no idea, but I did, when after I talked to Todd, I was like, I understand where he was coming from, because he's like, we do not, you guys are not covered under my contract.
No,
I do my
Todd
own.
misunderstood. Todd's a good guy. He's not a lawyer. He doesn't really understand that stuff. I don't know if you know Todd personally, I do. Todd was thinking that his contract bid directly applied for Grafton. It does not. Like, you guys can go in for the sexual harassment training through the county. That's approved. The county doesn't approve paying for Grafton to have their guys tested. We have to do that separate. And that's
have
why
to have our own contract,
we have to piggyback on the county bid. So those bills come to us, and it already happened. In '22, you were on the county bid.
We haven't gotten a bill, I couldn't tell you the last time we got a bill. Because it's been
Again,
years.
Why don't you guys take a look? There is a ton of different testers. Ask people. I just texted Mr. Gallery and said, who would you recommend? Because he kind of knows this stuff. I do the same thing. Find out who they recommend, you know, and then look at your procurement policy and see where you're at under the procurement policy.
I have 3 quotes here that if anybody would like to look at them, some of them I've got to.
Well, you got 3 quotes right there.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Yep, I work.
Who's the lowest responsible quote that you looked at?
Accredited drug testing would
Okay.
probably be the lowest.
And accredited is one of the ones that is on the list here for being a good one. So they're the #1 drug testing in Albany, by the way. So why don't you just approve going with them? You got a quote, right? How much is it, though, I should ask you?
It varies, because do we have to have a clearinghouse?
I don't think we should make any kind
Yeah.
of movement tonight on voting on anything about this at all. And I want to go on the record as saying, I don't think, we definitely need to do drug testing. All the gentlemen have CDLs. But I don't think we have anything to worry about. I think we have an excellent crew with an excellent supervisor. We'll get this straightened out, but I don't think this is the issue that it's being made into. So I don't think we should jump on
Ingrid,
anything tonight.
if you would have communicated with me a little bit about this, it would have probably helped.
I don't have a contract with them to show you, so I
Okay.
didn't. I mean,
So all you could have said, I don't have a contract. You didn't respond to me at all. Several times. So,
yes.
and then this is where then we have to have our conversations here like this, because if you don't have anything to go by, this is our method of communication. Okay? So it makes me upset that we can't communicate and have no communication.
The communications you sent me also had Jared, and he was responding as well. So Jared's the highway superintendent, he's a constitutionally elected official.
And he said to you,
Twice over.
maybe Ingrid has the contract.
I don't have it, I don't have it.
Okay, that's all you had to do was tell me that. So by next
But
month, I
Ingrid,
hope we can
Could I
resolve
ask, did you
something.
have a resolution approving the county contract?
No.
So if you guys never did a resolution approving piggybacking on the county bid, we got a problem.
What does that resolution say of 2022 or whatever you had? You just had it.
I thought we did, because I remember discussing the options on that contract, and then we approved absolute.
Right, but I don't think that we ever did a contract with that.
Did we do a resolution?
The
I guess?
Yes, we did a resolution. We did do that.
So you see what I'm saying? If you did a resolution, you're approving all the terms that are in the county contract, in the county bid. So it's like what you're doing tonight with the paving.
Right, it should be, right.
But if a contract was never set up with Absolute for the town of Grafton, then we didn't have a contract.
No,
Correct?
you're piggybacking on the county contract. That's not something Todd Jojo says extends to you directly. You're piggybacking on it. So then we contact this company, the drug testing company, and say, we want to piggyback. And Jared, what did they do? Send their people out here and test our people here, right?
Yeah, they used to be super easy to deal with. I don't know what's happened in the last 2 months. She was
That's
awesome.
me, I'm sure.
Oh, that probably so, but she was awesome to deal with.
So I think by next month, we should have some answers for this, whether we're gonna stay with them, and they'll give you a written document if you want one, or go with a creditor, one of the others, you know. But I agree with you, don't do it tonight. Get all your facts, and then go from there.
All right, any other new business?
I don't have new business, but just so that we don't overlook the communication from the recreation committee to approve Molly Duran's,
Right, okay.
I told you this, I'm sorry.
Yep. We'll put that under motions. That's
Thank
the
you,
Molly
Vicky.
Duran concert in August. The recreation committee, excuse me, August 9th. All right, one of those in this number. Okay. All right, where are we? Public comment. Okay, reminder, public comment is limited to 5 minutes per person. Be mindful the public comment portion of the meeting is a privilege. All comments and statements shall be directed to the town board. Please refrain from any personal attacks, name calling, or derogatory public comments toward individuals. All right. Sure, I'll do it, sure. 5 minutes. Who'd like to start? Do I see no hands? Wow.
Okay, I'll ask a question.
Yes, Patty Bush.
I don't really know that much about it, so enlighten me, but do you have to have a contract for the drug testing? Why can't, if everybody's responsible, people are responsible, if they have to have it done every year, once a year, why can't they just go to a facility, like they mentioned Albany Med or Bennington, get the drug test, and I don't know who pays for it. Is that the reason for the contract?
We pay for it, the town.
So why couldn't they just send the bill here? Let each rather than, why do you need a contract? If Jared wants to go to Albany Med and somebody, or Albany down there, urgent, and somebody else wants to go to Bennington, they know they have to have it once a year. It should be their responsibility to go and have it done and send the bill here. Why do you need a contract?
Oh, we can't leave it on the employees to have to set all this up. The town has to set it up. And that's what they do for, they do it for every municipality.
Well, that's why I called last time. She was super easy to deal with. The lady is very, very pleasant. She come up and did it. I didn't tell the guys. I just said, guess what? It saved the town money because they were all sitting there. She showed up at, it was like 7:30 in the morning. And it was like, guess what, fellas? And nobody cared. You know, it was half hour, we were done, and we went to work.
Okay, so if it has to be random, is everybody getting tested at the same time, random?
No,
And are they
that was
saying-
an initial thing because early on, some individuals had asked me how come it hadn't been done. I said, well, in COVID, they kind of backed off. You know, nobody was coming around during COVID and said like things like that. So after when I was really sure we had approved absolute to do it, through a resolution, in fact, I'm like 90% sure, that I called her up. She was no problem at all. She come right up within, say, a week, and just had everybody tested.
So they're doing it all at once. I mean, she'll come up.
Well, that was the initial time because some of the guys have been hired during COVID, things like that. It was like, all right, let's just get everybody tested just to cover our bases. And then we were in a random program after that. And sometimes they show up whenever, sometimes they don't show up whenever. I don't know, it's all computer generated.
So somebody from the county couldn't say, Jared, you go now and get tested, and somebody else go another time. You have to have a contract? I mean, you can't just...
They don't have to have a contract, it's a resolution.
And it wouldn't be the county telling us to do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
So
the
town-
pool, because we're in the pool with the county, so.
So somebody from the town couldn't say to you, okay.
I bet we figure it out.
We'll
We'll
get
figure it out
figure
and
it
get it
out,
done.
sure.
Yeah, but good point, Pat.
Usually the
Right.
facility just gotta be ran.
Yeah.
Who else from the floor tonight? Kathy Swoda.
I just have to say that communication with the supervisor maybe be a lot easier and more efficient if she actually had a secretary.
Oh, thank you.
But on another note, has the town gotten any notification as far as Dunham Reservoir? Because we were told that the state was fixing the dams over the side in the park, but Dunham was not going to be done. And that they basically were just gonna, I don't know what they were gonna do with the dam, but they were gonna slowly lower the water and the story. And I don't know how that affects the reservoir, because it would be shame to lose the beauty of that.
Yeah, I don't think that's imminent, losing the reservoir at all. I've met with the state park, and we've communicated back and forth with Elaine Ball-Chinian, who is the director in Saratoga. The engineer's report read kind of ominously that it was in trouble and going to be an issue, or could potentially be an issue. It's not that bad, but it definitely is being watched. They're watching the water levels, they're working the valves all the time. So we've got some pretty good assurance that they're on it and watching it, but I don't think anything catastrophic is going to happen, and anything that's going to lower the water to make it unusable or, less.
Well,
of a
I mean, it was
resource.
usable, but, when we had the drought, that the levels dropped in there, that was pretty significant. But the surveyor that was over at the park, he has a contract for the 3 over there, and asked if, well, do you have Dunham? And we said no.
Right. They're looking at all of them, Kathy, all the dams that the state owns, and the state does, the state of New York, yes. The state of New York, the state park system owns the dams. And they are put on notice by DEC as to what engineering level they're at, or their structural level they're at. So it's kind of very fluid and open right now, but we have eyes on it, so, Yes, Chris Von Schilgen.
At that meeting that you attended on the dam, was there any discussion in replacing the valves that are broken up there that they can't use to regulate flow? It's my understanding that they have a valve sitting up in one of their buildings up there that was supposed to be installed at the dam. If you could look into that.
I sure will. No, I didn't. That wasn't part of it. The valves, the condition of the valves was part of it, and part of what they were talking about, and that's why they're watching them. They have eyes on them
Well,
every day.
there's a number that are not operable, so they can watch them, but they don't work.
But they don't. Gotcha. Okay. So valve replacement. Okay. I'll ask that question. And again, we met, when we had that meeting, it was Deputy Supervisor, myself, and Bruce Patiri, our legislator, and he was really spot on with questions he was asking, and really had his eye on public safety issues with the Dunham in particular. So, who else? No? Okay. Ann Calabro.
Sure. Okay. I know you've already addressed a little bit with the veterans flag, and I know last time Becky had said that, well, we paid for our flag. Everyone paid for their flags if they have one, but they're now a source of pride for town, and I kind of feel like the town should be allowed and encouraged to maintain and replace them as they need it. Another issue on the veterans is the memorial out in the town green, I guess I should call it. The benches are in sore need of repair and maintenance. They're all splintery, they're peeling paint, they look really bad right now. And I went to go sit on one the other day, and mushrooms were actually growing out of the wood. So it was pretty disgusting to sit on. And then there's also a lot of weeds in the stones around there. So it just looks really neglected right now. And if we're going to do something to say something good for veterans, you should have it so it's presentable. I see one of your resolutions has to do about hiring town streams. I'm kind of wondering, is it a monthly cost that they charge? Is it an annual fee?
Can I address that real quick?
Yes,
They will give you a free trial period. So I talked to the supervisor and the board members about changing just a couple of words in the resolution so the town gets to try it for free at first and then decide.
Okay. So that's good. I don't know how long
No,
the free trial will be.
No, but.
But is it going to be more effective to get an actual amplifier, speakers, and a microphone to have here versus having that?
Okay, go ahead.
That's one thing. And the other thing is, I get over 200 views on my videos. The last video that was put up for May, the town only got 26 views. How do we know that having this town stream thing is going to make it any better than what I already have?
We'll advertise it. We'll advertise that they're on there. Do yourself a favor. Go Google Town Hall Streams when you get home and check them out. You can watch movies from neighboring municipalities that use that service. It's very, very good. Very good quality. They put a microphone right about here and it picks up everything. They do two-way cameras, so you'll have the town board and then you'll have a little mini screen that will show the audience at the same time. And the meetings are archived, and I was super impressed with it. And our quote was, I believe Councilwoman Green said earlier, that Petersburg pays $3,600 a year, $300 a month for it. But it's every single meeting. They'll do the planning board, they'll do, if the ethics board meets. I noticed East Greenbush has their ethics board meetings publicized, so yeah, just check them out. I think you'd be impressed with and it's not technical. We're not going to have to worry about any of the technicality of it. They just put that microphone there. We flip a switch when there's a meeting, and it automatically is there. It's live streamed, and then it's archived. So
And the other thing was having a microphone here, because we in the audience can't always hear you. People on our on recordings can't hear you. They can't hear it on the town one. So having a speaker available might be helpful, especially for people that can't hear.
right.
And there are people up here like that. Okay, another one. I made up a list. Okay, signs for the recreation committee. We had the picnic, and I went out, got poster board myself, and put a sign up at the corner because there were no signs. I've talked to people who don't know where Graywacke Meadows is. I've talked to other people that didn't know that the picnic was on. There's got to be a better way to advertise it than just putting it on Facebook, because not everyone is on Facebook. Signs are cheap, so you can get two plastic signboards, the little sandwich things. Put one up at Tom's building. Put one down at the Dunham Road, or wherever you're going to have your events. It helps the recreation people, because they've got good things going on, but not enough people know about it. You have to have signs, And I understand that there's a sign out front, but unless you're walking and you stop and you look, you're not going to see anything there. It's not a sufficient advertising. Lastly, there was another Braver Angels event on May 4th. I did not hear a word about it. They didn't have signs either, so that's on them. I saw it after the fact on the town Facebook page saying, oh, there's an event on May 4th. Well, I didn't hear about it until the 11th. So,
well, that's a private event. That's a private outfit. That's nothing to do with the town.
She had it posted though.
Okay.
Okay. But I didn't hear anything about it in any meeting, anything. So I'm going to
Pearson was here. I announced it. Anyway, okay.
I don't remember it. So the next one is on October 5th, and it's going to be an all-day presentation. Braver Angels is about learning to talk to people without animosity. So it starts out being like a political thing, but there are skills that you learn that you can use in your everyday life. Learning how to find what another person's viewpoint is and having them see yours without being angry with each other. So it's a really good thing. If anyone wants to sign up for it, I posted it on my Facebook page, and I can help anyone else that wants to sign up.
Where is it?
It'll be up at
Roxborough?
Roxborough.
Okay.
I believe it was on
October
Easter.
5th. What's that?
I believe there was an article
Yeah,
on
we
Easter.
advertised it
Yeah.
for 2-3 weeks.
I don't get the newspaper, so I didn't see that.
Okay. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Leanna and Keith back in the
Well,
back.
just-
Just Leanna.
So I just wanted to answer that about the advertising for the recreation committee. It was put on the town page, It was posted at the post office. It was in the Eastwood Press. Small little flyers, quarter of a page were done, cut up, given to every person that checked out a book, and given to all the people who attended the programs at the library.
Yeah.
And you had a pretty good turnout there.
I'm sorry?
You had a pretty
We
good
had a huge
turnout.
turnout. I'm a head counter. We had 127 people there yesterday. It was
We had 200 2 years ago.
Okay.
So,
I'm just-
120 was good, and I enjoyed it. It's just we can't have more. That's all.
That's a sensible. All right. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Loveday.
I just, a couple of things really quickly.
Sure.
I really enjoyed that, the picnic yesterday, and I think it would be really great if more people came. At first I was busy at home, but I decided I got to make this thing, and it was great. And I think we should encourage more people in the town to come. As far as your comment on the speaker, then you get into sound reinforcement. The streaming is not for the people here. The streaming is for the people out there. And so if people don't speak as loudly as I, then maybe the board needs to say, hey, anybody who is in this room needs to speak up. I mean, everybody can speak up, all right? If you're talking, you're not nervous, right? You're speaking. So if people speak up here, then they are heard by these people, and they're automatically heard by the people, they're automatically heard, by the people out there, right? I would ask that the board scrutinize the quality of the audio for this streaming. That's the big deal. The video is separate. The video is secondary to the audio. So if these guys put in one mic, which I personally don't think is enough, we should be able to go back to them. That guy is very nice, the owner, and go back to them and say, hey, we need you guys to put in two more mics to get this sound right. And so maybe if you do go through this company, leave that open. And he has improved other towns' audio and video, because I've talked to other towns. So there is a sweet bunch of equipment that he can put in for every town, for every size room. So I would encourage you to be picky the first time and get it right so that everybody hears what they want.
We can sort that out during the free trial period.
I understand.
Great. No, I'm agreeing with you. Yes.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. All right, anyone else? Pat Bush again.
Yeah, I just had, because somebody Kathy brought up about the secretary, and I was just wondering, secretary to you, I was just wondering, was that put on back burner? Because we really haven't heard anything. Is that just a wash now, or are you thinking about it?
I think about it every day.
Well,
honestly,
you do,
I think
but
about it every
what
day.
about your fellow
my
board members?
intention as the supervisor who's been here for 8 years and had the, I guess, good fortune to have had support staff for 7 of those last 8 years. I had 3 or 4 different secretaries during that time, but Erica most recently. I intend to put it in my budget submission for the 2025 budget. And I think it's been, the disservice to me has been, I believe it was something personal that got out of hand. And it's been a tough road for me to not have support staff, for me personally to handle the job of supervisor without support staff, but it's also been a huge disservice to the town. It has been, because if I'm scattered and not able to get everything I need to get done, it's just a disservice to the town. So
Well,
I plan to put it in.
I agree.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. I hope you have better luck
Thank
next
you.
year.
I think I will.
And one other thing was,
Yes.
I just didn't know, I know we saw the swearing in of Becky there, Green, but now for deputy, is it clerk? Do they have the same thing? Do they swear her in like that?
She
or
took the
no?
oath of office in my office, signed the oath of office.
She just signed, okay. Because I was just wondering, because, a chance to like meet her, I'd have to come in if I wanted to meet her, so when is she here?
Hang around after the meeting, go up and have a chat with her. Then you can get to meet her.
After the meeting?
Is she here?
She's not here.
Okay.
She will not be here this week,
Oh,
but she usually works Thursdays. She's been training with me just about every day I'm here,
Okay.
but she will be covering
Just so we
Thursdays
know.
and every, like, one Saturday a month for me.
Yeah, I didn't know if she came to a meeting and, you know, like that.
Currently, she's working her other job Monday night, so she's not available.
All right.
Okay, we're good with public comment tonight? Okay, thank you. Thanks, everyone. All right, moving on to motions and resolutions. We have resolution number 49 of 2024, approving paving as per the attached quotes.
I have a couple questions.
On this one, on the resolution?
On the, yes.
Okay.
So do you want me to ask them first?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or do you want to read it first? I just have, because and it's just for clarification, because I'm not, but the bid for the 53,000 bid here for that's only for Brock Road and Barbell Road?
Yeah, for the reclaiming?
Right.
Yeah.
Why don't we have to do that on the other road, Red Pond? Is that already paid itself?
No, what the reclaiming is on Brock Road, we're gonna lay down millings, and what a reclaimer is a giant rototiller that goes down, tills it all in. It's the same process we did on Josh Hall Pond Road. Because Brock Road is soft in quite a few places, so it just stiffens it up, grinds all the rocks down so they don't poke up through the asphalt. And if there's time in the day, we may do parts of Red Pond Road as well.
And who does, what's the density monitoring? Who can do that? Because that says the town will provide that.
That's pretty much what that is, a compaction test. They just throw that in there.
But who does it? Nobody does it, or is it just?
Nobody really does it, but there are random tests that do happen during that time. The county can help us out with that. The county's usually pretty awesome. We have an awesome relationship with the county highway.
So they'll do that.
Yeah.
Is there any other expenses that will go along with this job? That, like the one, the chip seal quote it says that the A1As are not included? Is that the stone?
Yeah, it's just a stone. I wasn't too worried about it. That is like 60 ton, so for literally a couple $1,000, I wasn't gonna be bothered with that. We can just put that in our regular budget. We have that. So this is all paid for by CHIPS money, and which anybody that doesn't know is pretty much a state reimbursement to our town, to simplify it. And I really wasn't worried about a couple $1,000 there versus.
Well, I don't know how much that would be.
No, that's all right.
That's why I'm asking, I'm sorry.
No? Yeah, I think it's like 60 ton or 62 ton, so it was, I just wasn't too worried about them including that.
Okay, any other questions?
I should have told you, technically, I should have had to get a second first before you did discussion, but that's okay. We'll remember next time.
Second before.
On your motion, you're moving this resolution, aren't you?
No, we didn't even read it yet.
I asked first.
Okay, so what you normally would do is read it, get a second, and then you would have.
Discuss it, procedurally, okay, thank you for that, Bill, thank you. All right, resolution number 49 of 2024, whereas the town of Grafton desires to piggyback on the county of Rensselaer approved paving bids for Peckham Road Corp. So as to provide paving services for the town of Grafton in the 2024 paving season per the attached bids, backup information, and bid breakdown quotes. And whereas such approval is determined to be in the best interests of the town of Grafton, now therefore be it resolved that on behalf of the town of Grafton, the bid information and quotes attached hereto is hereby approved, and the superintendent of highways is authorized to execute the attached quotes in an amount not to exceed $430,807.65 on behalf of the town of Grafton. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 49. May I have a second? Second by Councilman McCuskey.
Councilwoman Reed?
I have one more question.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is where you would do your debate
My
and
question.
questions.
Okay. My other question is, why did we go with Peckham just because there is lower bidders?
That's simple. A few reasons. One is they're a one-stop shop. So they do the milling, reclaiming, their material, their paving crew, their liability. We went through that with Joshua Pond Road. When we reclaimed that road, they were willing to take the responsibility that if, say, in a year, you know, oh geez, we got spider cracks or we got a pothole or something, that, hey, we took charge of the whole thing. You know, it's the one thing I like about that with that company is that they're accountable versus, you know, okay, we bought blacktop here, this outfit over here laid it down, you know, then it's they constantly point fingers at each other when there's an issue. Grafton is a very tough town to get asphalt to hold. We've all seen Route 2 and many of the county roads, so pretty much that was the reason, you know, literally for a couple $1,000 extra versus the cheaper guy, you know, cheaper company. And the other companies don't have reclaimers. They still hire either Gorman or they hire Peckham's to do it. So no matter what, Peckham's would do the reclaiming because they're the only two companies on county contract that have such machines. So I figure, you know, not only is it a little simpler to write one check, which I don't care about the extra work. If we save money, that's worth saving money. But it's pretty much the liability of it is a one-stop. You know, it's their material, their crew, their process, and they're in on it the whole time. So, like every road they've done for us, they're, yep, this is on us now. So that's pretty much the reason.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the motion was made by the supervisor and seconded by Councilman Lukowski.
Councilwoman Reed?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilman Lukowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. Thank you, Jared and Phil, for your work on that. Okay, we have Resolution 50 of 2024. Whereas the town of Grafton recognizes and honors its United States military veterans by displaying veterans banners throughout the town, and whereas time and exposure to the elements have faded many of the banners, and whereas Private First Class Ralph D. Carner, killed in action in France in 1944, Private First Class Franklin G. Edmond, killed in action in Luxembourg in 1944, and Staff Sergeant Leland Smith, killed in action in Germany in 1945, are the namesakes for Grafton's Carner Edmund Smith Veterans of Foreign War Post. And whereas the town of Grafton is desirous of replacing the Carner, Edmund, and Smith banners and adding to them a new banner for United States Air Force Sergeant Timothy R. Hammond, who died during the Vietnam War. And whereas the town of Grafton is also desirous of charging the Town Board Veterans Committee to work with representatives of the Carner Edmund Smith VFW post and members of the Grafton Historical Society to develop a list of banners that need immediate replacement. And whereas this list of banner replacements should be presented to the town board at their July 8th meeting for consideration of replacement. And whereas the replacement costs and the cost of the new banner will be funded through the unexpended fund balance. Now therefore be it resolved, the actions as set forth shall commence. I wrote this resolution, and I just like to clarify that where it says, whereas the replacement costs and the cost of the new banner will be funded through the unexpended fund balance, I'm speaking specifically of the Carner Edmund Smith banners, those three, and the new banner for Timothy Hammond, the Vietnam War veteran. So I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 50 of 2024. Oh, 2 seconds. Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
So we're just paying for the 4.
Just the 4 to start with, and then we'll examine what we have pending with the others, but no,
Right.
nothing binding to pay for those yet.
Councilwoman Reed?
Do we change the resolution then so that
The replacement costs of the Carner Edmund Smith banners and the cost of the new banner for Timothy Hammond will be paid for from the unexpended fund balance.
Yes.
Councilwoman Shay?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilman McCluskey?
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn?
Yes.
And just for the record again, the new one is $170 and the replacement ones are $125. Thank you for that earlier.
Yes.
Right.
All right, resolution number 51. Whereas the town of Grafton, actually, before we do this one, Phil, we're going to do the language of the free trial period.
Yes, and to make the change, all you have to do is a motion to take out, in the therefore clause, the very bottom there, just take out the word contract and put in 3 words, free trial period.
Great. Great. Thank you. Okay. Resolution 51 of 2024. Whereas the town of Grafton is desirous of maintaining full and open transparency as concerns the business of town government. And whereas many people have requested that the town invest in a method of live broadcasting town board meetings and archiving and making the recordings available for viewing after the meetings. And whereas Town Hall Streams is a company that provides comprehensive live stream and recording services and is well qualified to conduct the broadcast and maintain access to the recordings. And whereas Town Hall Streams is a recognized and accepted vendor in Rensselaer County for these services. And whereas Town Hall Streams has reviewed the town hall facilities and assured the town of Grafton that they can successfully provide this service, now therefore be it resolved that the town of Grafton is desirous of entering into a free trial period with Town Hall Streams to move forward and provide this service. I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 51. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hoyt.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Shay?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilman McCluskey?
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. Great work. All right, our last resolution before motions is Resolution 52 of 2024. Whereas the town of Grafton desires to increase the salary of the recycling center attendant to the amount of $20 per hour as adequate compensation for the workload and/or duties. And whereas such approval is determined to be in the best interests of the town of Grafton, now therefore be it resolved that on behalf of the town of Grafton, the salary increase of the recycling center attendant to the amount of $20 per hour is hereby approved. I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 52. And a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Green.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilwoman Shay?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilman McCluskey?
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. Okay. All right.
Hang on, I'm sorry.
What's that?
I might be wrong, but Phil, do we have to have a resolution about that truck?
They have that back, they're doing that now.
We're gonna.
I'm sorry.
The
I
motion.
jumped the gun. I
They've got like
apologize.
3 of them, I think, they're doing
Yes.
now.
All right, I apologize.
Okay, we have yet motions before us. We have a motion to invite campers from other towns to participate in our youth program for this summer. I'd like to make a motion that we allow that. May I have a second?
No.
No? Oh.
We need to set a dollar amount for the kids.
Do we need to set that tonight, Phil, or do we just?
Well, if you're gonna, yeah, because if you just say they can come, you gotta say under what circumstances. So a lot of places do this. They have other adjoining towns involved, but sometimes if there's some kind of subsidy that the town helps for town residents, out-of-town residents pay a little bit more. So if you know, you're smiling. What do you got up your sleeve over there?
Yes, we've all.
No, I thought it was good that we could have Petersburg. I talked
Yeah.
to Katie and, you know, what was it, $75 a week each one? 75?
75 a week or 20 a day.
So you just put that as part of your resolution?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that the town of Grafton invites campers from other towns to participate in our summer youth program at the rate of $75 per week or $20 per day. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, seconded by, we'll go with Tom this time. Okay, seconded by Councilman McCluskey. Can we do all in favor with motions?
No, on this one you
All
can't.
right, okay.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilwoman Shay?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilman McCluskey?
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. Okay, we have a motion to allow the town hall to be used by the Democratic Party for their caucus on June 27th, is that what it is?
From
June
6:30 PM to
June
7:30.
to 6:30 PM. I'd like to make a motion to allow the Democratic Party to use the town hall for their caucus.
Second that.
Okay, second by Councilman DeShane.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman McCluskey.
Yes.
Supervisor Miller.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion for the Recreation Committee to enter into a contract with Molly Dernan to perform entertainment services on August 9th, from 9 to, no, that's the youth kids. When is Molly?
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Oh, it is, okay, it is Friday, okay, Friday, August 9th, from 6 to 8, at a cost of $600. May I have a second? Okay, second by Councilman Hoyt.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman McCluskey.
Yes.
Supervisor Miller.
Yes. Okay, we have a motion before us to allow the highway superintendent to either trade in or sell at auction, whatever is most cost efficient, for an F-550 truck to be disposed of in those vendors.
I'll second.
Okay?
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman McCluskey.
Yes.
Supervisor Miller.
Yes. Do you have any other motions?
Did you guys want to do the security camera one yet, or no? Because it sounded like your best value quote was $2,279 from AIT.
I only gave them the quotes tonight. I don't, people to be able to have a chance to look at them. I have no problem with going with the IT.
I don't either. Because they're involved with everything else. It's a good price.
Sounds like they're ready to move it forward.
I don't care, I'm just saying. I've looked it over, I've worked on it, so I know it's on.
And you're in favor of it,
Are
right?
you in favor of them?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just want to give everybody an opportunity to look at stuff. I don't. That's up to the rest of the board.
Would you like me to make a motion? Let me go for it? Okay, what's the dollar amount, Becky?
$2,279, I think. AIT.
No, to AIT, not
Board. I just want to have the exact number amount. I don't.
It's right here, I got it.
Okay. Do you want to make the motion? All right, I'd like to make a motion that the town board accepts the quote from AIT Computers to provide 4-camera indoor-outdoor 4K IK10 PoE security system with 24/7 recording and smart detection, 4K 8MP Ultra HD, 16-channel 2 TD NVR, installation, cabling, configuration, remote access, and 24-inch LCD monitor in the amount of $2,279. May I have a second? Second by Councilwoman Green.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman McCluskey. Supervisor Miller.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for doing the work on that, Councilwoman Green, very much. All right, if we have no other motions, I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills as audited. I have vouchers 200 through 235 for a total of $34,978.63. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman McCluskey.
Yes.
Supervisor Miller.
Yes. All right, the next scheduled meeting is our workshop, or is, I'm sorry, the next scheduled meeting is our workshop on, stop. The next scheduled meeting is our regular meeting on July 8th, 2024 at 7 PM. But we, as I mentioned in the beginning of the meeting, we'll be scheduling a workshop with Assessor Surprise.
Yes.
So we'll get that scheduled.
The 20th, July?
Yes.
Okay. And you're good. I just want to make sure last month that you scheduled the workshop for July 20th.
For July 20th, yes. We also have a budget workshop on July 20th, budget and finance at 9 a.m. Our bookkeeper will be here for that. Does anyone have anything for legislative privilege tonight? I'd just like to announce one little thing that's it's interesting and it's pretty cool for Grafton. As most of us in this room probably know, that my uncle Gordon Gundrum had the distinction of standing with Dr. Martin Luther King when he did his I Have a Dream speech. So that's kind of been a Grafton historical fact for a long time, and something of which our family's super proud. A gentleman named Jonathan Eig, I believe he's a professor at the University of Chicago, recently wrote a biography of Dr. King, and it's called King, A Life. And he interviewed Uncle Gunny, Gordon Gundrum, and there's actually about 6 pages in the book that are all the interviews that he did with Grafton's own Gunny Gundrum. There's nice pictures of him, and it's kind of a really cool thing. Maybe the library could get a copy of the book. But what's really nice about it is the gentleman that wrote the book received the Pulitzer Prize for it this year. So that's a pretty cool thing that has happened for Grafton. So yeah, very nice.
What was that
He's
author
also
again?
on the back of the famous lunch.
He is on the back of the famous lunch. There you go. That's even better. Yes. It's called King, A Life by Jonathan Eig, E-I-G. E-I-G. And does anyone else have anything for tonight? All right, and on that note, Uncle Gunny lost his partner of the last 8 years, Wilma Hardley, sorry. So even though she's in Petersburg, I'd like to adjourn in memory of Wilma Hardley. May I have a second? Okay. All in favor? Aye. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thanks, guys.